Welcome to these excerpts from my book, Dark Secrets of the Kenyan Presidency. I think by far the most popular book I've ever written. This is just a section of the book, the new revised version, and I'm sure you're going to enjoy it. Now, the Luo community have been known to produce opportunistic strikers, legendary opportunistic strikers. Now, what do I mean by opportunistic strikers? These are strikers who can smell a goal, and produce actually a goal from nothing. I'm thinking of names like Peter Dawa, or they used to call him Peter Dawa, a very sensational striker. Anyway, the Luo have also produced opportunistic politicians, and people have not been able to look at them this way before. I'm talking about, of course, Tom Mboya, who took advantage of an opportunity and turned it into something great. But there's another less known figure who, although he was not a politician, played politics marvelously and beautifully to be able to achieve quite a lot. Well, selfishly so, but I think his life is very interesting to look at. And this is, of course, a man who was called Hezekiah Oyugi. At the height of his power, Hezekiah Oyugi used to have ministers, cabinet ministers, kneeling down before him. And yet he was nothing more than a permanent secretary. Actually, a permanent secretary who was previously a DO, DC, PC, and then permanent secretary. Somebody who rose from very humble beginnings but took full advantage of the opportunities that were before him. An extremely intelligent man, as we shall learn shortly. It is believed that Hezekiah Oyugi developed his close relationship with President Moi, at that time the vice president, during his tenure as Nakuru DC. For younger Kenyans, DC means district commissioner. Nakuru was Moi's home district, and it was also the place where the Kiambu Mafia operated in extensively. Now, as DC of Nakuru, Oyugi was able to get a lot of information, and he passed this information on to Moi. Now, credit has to be given to Oyugi, because nobody ever guessed that one day humble Vice President Moi would ever rise to be president of the country. Yes, he was the vice president, but it was clear that the Kiambu Mafia were never going to allow him to step into the shoes of Jomo Kenyatta. Indeed, even the Kiambu Mafia had started a Change the Constitution movement, and had gotten the support of many powerful politicians. The whole idea was to change the constitution so that Moi did not ascend to the presidency automatically. It is believed that it was from Oyugi that Moi learned of an assassination plot that had been planned for him. You see, after the Change the Constitution movement went belly up, mainly because it received no support from Jomo Kenyatta, the Kiambu Mafia hatched a plan to ensure that Moi would never ascend to the presidency. And their plan was to assassinate him in the event of Kenyatta's death, to assassinate Moi. It is believed that Moi learned of this from Oyugi. Now, Oyugi rose very rapidly after the death of President Kenyatta, very rapidly up the ranks. And the main reason was the role he played in not only getting Moi safely to Nairobi, but looking after his entire security and organizing a plan that would bypass the Kiambu Mafia, who had their tentacles everywhere, in the security forces, in the police, and so on. Actually, on the death of Kenyatta, Charles Njonjo, who was then the Attorney General AG, dispatched a helicopter to search for Moi. What had happened is that they tried to raise him on phone, but he was not reachable. Now, the interesting and fascinating thing is that once the helicopter had landed on Moi's farm, it did not come back to Nairobi with him. Very interesting. Instead, it was sent back with the message that Moi would proceed to Nairobi immediately. But Moi did not do that. He made his way back to Nakuru, where he met up with Oyugi, who at that time was not even aware that Kenyatta was no more. Oyugi then discreetly drove Moi to Nairobi. We have already seen how Moi got back to Nairobi in the boot of an old Peugeot 404. Oyugi is the one who drove that vehicle. It was a bizarre way for the President of the Republic of Kenya to get to Nairobi from Nakuru, but it was necessary under the circumstances. It was necessary to keep him alive. It is this entire operation which Oyugi performed, of course endangering his own life greatly, that enabled Oyugi to rise up to a situation where he was untouchable in the Moi government. Indeed, he was the only non-Kalenjin who was untouchable in the inner Moi circle. Now you can catch a continuation of this excerpt in the next part of this recording. As usual, just click, wait until you see the link on your top left hand corner of the screen. Click on it and then you'll be able to immediately go to part 2. If you've come to this recording too early, it might not be available, but just come back briefly. Come back later, you should be able to find it. Yeah, that's assuming you've come too early, but others you should be able to see that link. Now, the book Dark Secrets of the Kenyan Presidency is available. I have an amazing offer for it. It's only $899. Yeah, all you need to do is check in the description area of this video, and you'll be able to find all the information you need to be able to order this book. Now, the other big plus, if you order this book Dark Secrets of the Kenyan Presidency, I'll be able to give you 3 months free membership to Club 1999. So it's a very great offer. I advise you to take advantage of it before I have to shut it down. Yeah, I'm sure it's going to be very, very popular. Okay, so just go ahead, order the whole book, read some many fascinating inside stories about the presidents of Kenya, Jomo Kenyatta, Daniel Arap Moi, and Mwai Kibaki. Read amazing stories. I'm sure you're going to enjoy them. Right, by now that link should be there. Just click on it. I look forward to seeing you in part 2. This is Chris Kumekucha.